Shifting gears to elk season 2024, I want to bring you along. I'm making some significant changes. I want to tell you why. Hopefully at the end of this video, you have a better understanding of how I pick what I pick. For me, my North Star is elk hunting. All the 3D we do is to get some pressure and to get some practice in the mountains. All the repetitions in the backyard, muscle memory, all the workouts and fitness, obviously fitness, but more importantly, mental toughness, confidence heading into the season. Summer can just go by in a blink of an eye. And if you're not making steps each and every day to bulletproof your setup, it could bite you in the butt. And we spend a lot of resources getting out west to chase elk, and it's so finite, it comes and goes. Let's talk about arrows. So Josh Jones hit me up and he said, hey man, I know you've been running those new Easton 55 grain half outs with collar built in, those sleeves. I know you were eyeing their titanium one, but you didn't like the weight. And so the aluminum was 55, that's what I went based on just weight. Aluminum's not my favorite material. He said, hey, I came out with new titanium 4mm half outs with a collar. You wanna give them a run. So headed over to Spokan Valley Archery and had Josh just get those pulled out and hot melted in. It's almost elk season and we're in crunch time, and I wanna bring you along as I try to make the best decision for my setup. I'm here at Spokan Valley Archery, owned by me. What are we doing today, Josh?
We're gonna put the new two-piece titanium 166 system in Dan's long ranges and his X10 Parallel Pros. Okay, so the Podium two-piece 166 componentry comes with a collar system, or this little bugger right there that goes over the end of the arrow. And then this piece right here goes in the arrow, glued in, and holds it in together. The purpose of that is so the arrow doesn't go around the component when it hits something hard, which is really the only negative of like the one-piece 166 style systems. There's several of them out there, is when you don't have that little neck over, when it hits, it wants to expand around it. So figuring we'd probably try to give Dan the best functioning thing because he's pretty serious about elk hunting, and hopefully it doesn't hit anything too hard, but just to be prepared, that's what we're gonna put on here. So periodically get, people asking messages about having their componentry pull out with hot melt. First of all, that's not a problem that we have, period. But it typically has to do with one of two things. One, if your componentry, if your point on the end of your adapter is bigger than the adapter, then maybe you might run into that, or you're not using the right hot glue. This is actually a commercial product. This isn't actually from the archery industry that we use, that we've had better luck with than anything. That's what it typically looks like when it warms up. This stuff, which is available on our website, is phenomenally good. I never lose components. The only time I've ever lost a component with this stuff is if you shoot through a target and the component doesn't actually catch in the target. Every once in a while you'll get a really short insert to come out. But outside of that, I don't do any prep or anything. It works really well. I can't say enough good about it. Check it out. So basically what we have here is our current organization, which we're going to redo, but this is the original 4mm titanium, the 5mm collar that's for the insert system that we make for 5mm, the new 4mm titanium, which we've got more of these, we just haven't bagged them up yet, 30 grain titanium, 50 grain titanium, those are both 5mm, 100 grain stainless, 75 grain stainless, 50 grain stainless, all 5mm. These are all the field point sizes that we're currently offering, but secret tip for you guys, we're gonna add about 6 different field points to this, and we're also gonna add sonic, size, inserts, and color pieces, as well as regular old 6.5mm componentry. And these are the hit insert system and collars that we had, and the collars that we make for the 4mm two pieces. Comment down below on if there's something that we need to make that we're not making, that we're not offering, because we're offering a hell of a lot. So let me know if there's something I missed.
And let me talk about hot melting. So hot melting for me is awesome because you can change your mind. You're not married to certain glue, and sometimes when you use certain type of epoxies, they take a long time, or even if you use real good glue, you may not get the insert all the way in, or the hit insert, whatever. I've messed up arrows because of glue drying too fast. Hot melt for me doesn't come out in targets. It doesn't come out in targets. Heat up the component, heat up the hot melt, get the wax on the component, then heat up the component one more time with the hot melt on it, slide it in, let it dry for like 2-3 minutes, peels right off. good to go. The advantage for in my opinion, for hot melting is like a giant broadhead like this, which I'm going to talk about what I'm using this year in this video, is I can index each one. So I have the bigger blades, the bleeders are parallel to the ground with my cock vane, and it's just more about continuity. So I like that you can index your broadheads so they all have the similar flight characteristics. With the arrows, I'm running the X10 Parallel Pros, the 4mm 300 spine. These guys, the GPI is just right, and these have the best tolerances out of any arrow in the market, in my opinion. Now, my opinion is only kind of one of an elk hunter's, not a target guy. But I do know Bodie Turner runs these. I shot tack with him. He loves them. He killed he hunts with these. I think he uses a lot of these in competition in the field stuff. So I just think tolerances wise, we're talking like a 300 spine is 300, not 295, not 305. It's all .001. It's like match grade vibes. It's just, they're all really similar, built really well. It's got everything you would want in an arrow, and the 4mm does seem to resist wind drift pretty dang well. You know, there's a shot with me and Bodie both shooting at big sky at a target that was 96-yard elk, and we literally had a micro burst. It was 40 and 50 miles, and that's just the report that Big Sky gave, and I knew it had to be 40 plus, and we shot 96 yards, and I think most arrows wouldn't even hit foam. You can watch my flight. It fights it pretty hard till the end, and then it drifts over. And then you can even see Bodie's arrow going like this, but still getting back, and his left and right was good. It was just a little hot. I think these are going to be really good for wind drift. I think for penetration, they're going to be awesome. Speaking of penetration, I'm running with the Iron Will single bevel wide 125 this year. 125 is my sweet spot for a field point weight or a broadhead weight. Josh's component, I believe, weighs 65 grains, including the collar. It's a two-piece system. It slides in. It's just going to be tougher than anything else I have found, and so that's why I'm going with that. The only other option I think I love would be the Iron Will hit insert Snyder core system, where it's a hit insert, a longer shank, and it's all one system. So you can't unscrew broadheads. It is what it is, but it's still a really good system for 4 mils. I think Josh is onto something here. I'm very excited about it. This does not whistle like I thought it would. The vents are much smaller than your standard vents. So Iron Will makes a solid and a vented regular. The vented regular is loud. I can hear it. I cannot hear this. This is definitely quieter, in my opinion, in my testing, and I have tested a lot. I also like the idea of this single bevel turning through the animal. I like the penetration of an Iron Will razor tip, best tolerances. Look at some of their diagrams on their website with a microscope, and look at the edge retention, the heat treatment. This is top tier engineered stuff that gives me confidence to take frontals, to take hard quartering twos, and then the wider blade just gives me more comfort that I'm going to get some blood on the ground, and then just the penetration, I'm going to get through everything. This thing went through 2 ribs and part of a scap last year on that Utah bull, and I just know that this is what gives me confidence in the back half of my quiver. So I'm thinking I'm going to run probably 3 or 4 wides in my Matthews one-piece low pro. These are tough to fit in any quiver, so if you're having issues, I get it, but I can get them to fit. But I want to run 3 wides and then 2 mechanicals for follow-up shots. One's definitely going to be that new Sever with bleeder. I have them. I might show you those in a second. The other would be probably the Beast, honestly, just because I tested it in Texas and was blown away at how sharp it was. But I like a 3 fixed blades, 2 mechanical for follow-ups, that type of vibe. That's what I'm going to go for with elk in 2024. 125 plus 65 for the upfront business. This Parallel Pro best arrow made in the USA. Who can say that? Arrows wise, who can say that? Hybrid HPs, the high profile is what you want to steer fixed broadheads. If I was only running, say, like the new Sever with bleeders or that Beast, I'd probably drop down to AEE hybrid 23s. You know, I think the higher profile is something I just have to have because I'm trying to steer this. I have this helical maxed out with the Arizona Mini. I have done those 2 and 3 degree offsets. I just think more spin works better for me. Basically, guys, I put 80-pound mods on my bow as promised. It's that time. It's crunch time for elk season. I no longer want to shoot 75. Tack is over. I'm here shooting less arrows now, but I'm still shooting consistently. So I bumped back to 80-pound mods. With this 449 arrow, I'm getting 285, which is really the sweet spot for me. 280 to 290. Last year, I was hitting around 296 to 300 feet a second. 285 is very tunable, especially with this big of a chunk of metal. And so that's going to be awesome for me. So I had to get a new sight tape, and with the UV slider, I bumped from a number 9 down to a number 5. I went down 4 sight tapes, and it's hitting really well. And then I basically got it sighted in, got the right sight tape on, and then I backed out to, like 96 yards and shot this, and 1 or 2 field points, and this was hitting just a little bit low. I took my MX2 from QAD, and I just loosened 1 Allen, and I click, 2 clicks, shot again, added 2 more clicks, shot again. Everything is in real tight, and then my windage, I just moved my windage over 2 clicks. I didn't show that, and we're shooting spot on. So these are shooting great out to 90. That's kind of like a really, actually 96 and 89 is the shot distances with this. Broadhead just a little low, so I'm gonna bump my rest up 2 clicks. That's why the micro adjust on a QAD MX2 is money. This arrow was a good shot, and then I kept trending right, good elevation. So I'm probably gonna move my windage maybe a click or 2 to the right, move my arrow rest up, shoot it again. Shot was the broadhead. Everything's just like, I'm gonna move my windage 1 more click to the right. It was a total of 4 clicks on this guy to get it the right elevation. It's about 90 yards. That's pretty good for us for a fixed broadhead. Pretty impressed. Everything I pick out to use is literally just what is going to work the best, what's going to give me the most confidence. A lot of guys were asking me, why did you switch from Hamskea to QAD? Simply put, I can cock it and stock it, meaning I can stock with my rest up. Whereas when I have a Hamskea, I love Hamskea, they're bulletproof, I have to put my thumb over, and it's just a lot of times it wasn't conducive. I also really like the micro adjust on the MX2. I'm just cracking little bolts and click, click. I can see, I can make 1 click adjustments at a time, which is what it takes if you're gonna be doing this route, which will give you a lot of confidence. It gives me a lot of confidence, and I know that separation is in the preparation. This video is timely. I want it to motivate you to finalize your selections and to test and vet your gear and to go shoot and be ready. Guys, I appreciate your support. Smash the sub. We got a lot of fun videos coming up. We appreciate your support. We'll catch you on the next one.